Hello, I'm Leonard Brockington. As we celebrate the biennial of the Bowling Green Massacre, we look back to the prehistory of Belcom Cybernetics. Everyone knows the story of the Bowling Green Massacre and the implications for old America in conjunction with the toxic situation along increasing amounts of the border between America and Canada. The toxicity of the Vex grew such that along the border there of Kentucky and Tennessee, it was such that Belcom became the last bastion of new American resistance to old American ways. And as that city took hold, and the cybernetics division increased and the AI increased, more and more Her Majesty's God Squad was called upon on the front lines to fight the Vex, to fight the infant babies the size of VW bugs, to fight the gigantic hamsters. But we all know that. Now listen to the sounds of old America. Back before we became New America, before the second sphere was in place, and before we had the Upa Wall and the Lowell to protect us from all the insanity of the aliens and the wraiths, the toxic animals. Everything in the Vex is now away from us, and we appreciate Her Majesty's God Squad and all that they did. So let us commemorate them as we look back to the prehistory of New America. Via the BBC, the Belcom Broadcasting Corporation.
This is the BBC Home and Forces programs. Here is the news, and this is Joseph McLeod reading.
Virtual reality. Read a selection of science fiction stories about worlds, and you'll soon discover that the following are inevitabilities. True intelligence will emerge from the hideous, complex machinations performed by the virtual world engine with unnerving consequences for human morality. Unscrupulous people will transfer their consciousnesses into hardware in order to live forever. Virtual worlds will be experienced through virtual reality interfaces so good that the virtual will be indistinguishable from the real.
At night, the RSM with a big mama doll, a big electric lamp. Finally, one remember Tommy and the Brandon Babe? Oh yes, do I? We finally did a great night. Took them all day to ditch it, didn't you?
Extensibility. Virtual worlds are designed such that they can be extended over time. Why? To add content, to correct imbalances, to allow for more simultaneous players. There are lots of reasons. Who extends the world? The live team. Who created the world? Oh, well, that's the dev team. Is the dev team a subset of the live team? At some point, the answer has to be no. For large-scale graphical virtual worlds, the answer is usually no immediately, because the live team is separate entirely from the dev team. Even for small-scale worlds, or those for which the live team is built from the dev team, the original designers aren't going to be around indefinitely. Students who create virtual worlds eventually leave college. Professional designers who create successful worlds are offered new opportunities. People move. Their circumstances change. Ultimately, no one lives forever. The live team may therefore differ in attitude to the dev team when it comes to assessing how the virtual world should work. There are many opportunities for divergence. The live team may fail to understand aspects of the design, seeing flaws where there are none. The live team may misunderstand the dev team's intentions, believing they're doing the right thing when they're not. The live team may have different overall philosophy and correct the design where it runs counter to this. The dev team's design might fail when exposed to real players. The dev team may have higher quality staff than the live team, or vice versa, with a consequently better handle on things. Because the live team is in control, there's great scope for a virtual world to shift away from the designer's original version over time. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Adapting to circumstances is how systems evolve, after all. Neither, though, is it necessarily a good thing. Survival of the fittest is great when you're one of the fittest, but not so great otherwise.
17 points. This is SRN News. A new Baylor University study indicates the Prison Fellowship International's courses are working.
What the research found was that faith-based programming was really having an impact in the prisons of the world.
PFI spokesman Andrew Corey says prisoners who took the courses developed
A sense of meaning and purpose in life. That led to development of forgiveness, gratitude, self-control, and then increased motivation for pursuing new meaning and purpose in life.
The ministry hopes to establish a presence in 20...
I had this really nice haircut. Tube, they're not pretend, they're called prosthetic, and it's because she has lost her legs in some way, and so she got those to help her out.
Curtis here.
Well, no, he needed to cut some trees and he wanted to watch the dogs and he just didn't want to be around a lot of people.
That's right.
Where do you think they went?
Cowboy the Joe?
No, they rode off on their horses. No, the police had to round them up, and then they maybe take them to jail.
Right press, left press again, right hand press, look well up. Lift your chest when you press there, now turn, press again, and a twist and a press. Swing, press, and stop, drop your arms.
As we reflect on the prehistory of Belcom, we must commemorate its founding members and their dedication to the hacker ethic. So as we reflect back on the pre-BGM days, before the Cybernetics Division rose up and we were forced to fight in the Vex, we were founded with men and women that were unwilling to accept how things had always been done. And their commitment to hacking life is what has brought us here. New America is run by all the servers at Belcom, and all the games across the world run through Belcom's systems and are created here and housed here. Belcom rose from nothing. Literally nothing. Log cabins and such. At the point when the hackers got involved, it is now relevant to say some of you might not have remembered the origination of the term. Hacker comes from the MIT Model Railroad Club of the 1950s Old American era. Their clever usage of old telephone equipment was branded hacking. A well-solved problem became the club's mantra: elegance, artistic engineering, splendor, logic became their stock in trade. The hacker ethic spilled from that ivory tower all around the world, with the core tenet being the promotion of open access information. The hacker term is relatively new, but the list of historical hackers is extensive. Pythagoras, Ada Lovelace, Alan Turing, Stallman, Wozniak, Ed Felton.
17 points. This is SRN News. A new Baylor University study indicates the Prison Fellowship International's courses are working.
What the research found was that faith-based programming was really having an impact in the prison
Story says prisoners who took the courses developed
A sense of meaning and purpose in life. That led to development of forgiveness, gratitude, self-control, and then increased motivation for pursuing new meaning and purpose in life.
The ministry hopes to establish a presence in 20% of the world's prisons. An appellate court is set to hear a
The machines stated it would not take long to outstrip our feeble powers. They would be able to converse with each other to sharpen their wits at some stage. Therefore, we should have to expect the machines to take bold. Alan Turing AI doesn't happen evil to destroy humanity. If AI has a goal and humanity just happens to be in the way, it will destroy humanity as a matter of course, without even thinking about it. No hard feelings. Artificial intelligence will reach human levels by around 2029. Follow that out further to say 2045. Intelligence, the human biological machine intelligence of our civilization by a billion. Bold Ray Keswell as technologist. I see how AI in the fourth industrial revolution will impact every aspect of people's lives. Family AI will greatly impact the education. Is this the future we face? Let's explore the topic in more depth. Use of artificial intelligence is on the rise. For example, nearly 40% of companies are using some form of AI, and that adoption has increased rapidly in recent years. The US education sector is experiencing a similar trend as noted by a report in Technology Today in New America that revealed that a nearly 50% increase in the adoption of AI in the next 3 years. Artificial intelligence is all around us, all aspects of our lives. It's changing the world we live in. Educational institutions are realizing the potential that it has and its ability to empower those teachers and students. Education professionals will play a huge role in the future of learning and will reshape how education is approached, which linkages to how AI being education. Bold computer science introduced teaching to online with 400 students with 10,000 questions a semester. Introduced routine necessary queries, proper cloud format, data storage, usage, schedule, office hours. Students mind blown. Alice was artificial intelligence they had not realized. During subsequent semesters, students were polled. Which of their TAs were AIs, and which were not? Correctly identifying the AI teaching assistant. AI is also being used in education.